Where were you? I remember where I was. I was working for a company in Columbus, Georgia. September 11, 2001, I went to our branch. We were owned by a bank, but we had a branch inside. And I walked out and I looked at the little TV they had up there, and the plane had just flown into the World Trade Center. And I went back to my office, which was around the corner about, I don't know, 35 yards. And I said, some idiot just ran into the World Trade Center. And then a guy named Mike, I guess he got on the early days of the internet somewhere, and he said, "Oh my God!" He ran out, and we all gathered and talked. And I don't know. I went back around the corner, and another plane hit the other World Trade Center for however long that was. Of course, we weren't doing no work. We was concerned. And that is a day I truly will never forget. And I like to start off the day with about 20 seconds of just silence to remember that tragedy that brought us together for a little while. And yeah, a moment of silence, please. Thank you and amen. Roll Tide Roll! Welcome, Crimson Tide Nation, to Tight Sports. This is the Alabama Football Megacast and the People's Crimson Tide Network. Thank you for thumbing over and joining me on whichever virtual space you have chosen today. Come on in, sit a spell, tell a friend to lock me in. Let's talk about your Crimson Tide, the greatest football dynasty that the world has ever seen. Share a pound with a brotherly way in. Share a pound and drop that thing right on the subscribe button. Just drop it. Drop it right on the subscribe button. Come on in, catch a vibe, help the Tide thrive, and let's blast this channel to a deep 5 digits sub level before the Crimson Tide gets to number 19. What is that going to take? What? 1-2 years? 30,000 subscribers? 119, 2 years? Yeah, maybe 1 year. Yeah, let's say 2 years. It ain't looking good this year. And if I successfully stimulate the happy juice in your gray matter and make your funny bone jiggle, please let the algorithm know. You know, you've been hating on me by poking that like button right in the eye. Poke it in the eye, please. Woo! Let's get started. Alabama's getting healthier, but they're not quite at full strength right now. Coach came on the board this week. He gave the injury report, the updates, who will, who may, who might not play. Expected to return to the lineup is Ryan Williams. So he was in that concussatory protocol because he got hit upside the head with the ground. Thought it was a knee or elbow or helmet. No, it was green stuff. Yeah, that's the hardest hitter out there. Johnny Blades is the leading tackler in football history. 130 years of excellent defensive play. Johnny Blades, #1 defensive player in the world. Okay, Ryan Williams concussion should be coming back. He warmed up against ULM, but he didn't play. Looking for his dynamic playmaking to return to the lineup to go with the other beasts we already have at wide out. Game time decisions. We got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 game time decisions. One day I'm gonna have like all the sounders and everything. Anyway, Jam Miller is expected to come out there. He is yet to play this season. He warmed up but didn't play. I guess if you gotta take a hit, you might as well do it against Wisconsin, or do you play through Georgia and you're good at it? I don't know. Boy, the doctors say all right. I'm gonna say all right. That would add some experience and depth in that backfield, which is already doing well. I mean, Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, I'm forgetting people's names, Draylon Washington, AK Deer. They had a pretty good week last year, but that was against ULM. Tim Keenan, the third defensive tackle, had an ankle problem. They had to get in them and put some fishing string in there, hold his ankle together. Don't worry, they didn't use actual fishing string. You can go fishing with it, but it's surgical. It's more expensive than that Trilene. Anyway, he been backed up by London Simmons, who was, like they said, he didn't make big plays, but he did his job, is what I saw, and what the coaches said in the press conference. He did his job. Sometimes your job is just to, get over here and make sure they don't go that way. He did his job, but the young man is learning. But Keenan will help to, bolster up that defensive line. We can't have no more banged up defensive line that we already got. It is absolutely wretched what's going on. No, but a lot of people have been banged up, and I'm getting a better feel about what we have. We getting there. The injuries just don't help. Smith is doing his thing. Jamarian Lathan is the next guy. He had a lower body injury. I think I said on Tuesday that he was going for the season, but apparently not. So he didn't dress last week. Q Rousseau and Yanzi Pierre got in at his spot and got some work in there, but we really need him on that edge, doing what he do. He has the weight and the power to do what he has to do. But Yanzi Pierre, if I'm not mistaken, he's the guy that caused that intercepted throw last week or something like that. Or was it a fumble? I can't remember. But, yeah, he was putting pressure on the quarterback. We're getting plenty of pressure on the quarterback, just not getting the sacks because, as Coach Womack says, we're on a level, playing on a level. We played at zero. We was in zero. We was like the car was in neutral doing FSU, and we probably got up to like a third gear against ULM, but it's a 6-speed, so we got ways to go. I look forward to seeing that. That's what I want to see. I look forward to seeing this defense or the whole doggone team in 6th gear. Who we got here? It's me. What up with you? It's me. Roll Tide to you, buddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving right along. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Danny Lewis Jr. is being reported that he hurt his leg and he was seen walking in a boot during the ULM game, and they're saying that he possibly could be gone for the rest of the season, but I don't know. We got miracle doctors. You know what I'm saying? They go out into the hills, into the country with the rattlesnake churches and the churches where the preachers get a little sprig of moonshine. They may lay hands on that man and get him back in the lineup. We wish you well, Daddy. We're going to turn it over to Kayla Edwards, and we're going to have my man Josh Cuevas do the thing at the tight end position. We wish you well. Man, we really need you. Now, in kind of a downer news, but our receiver room, it was tight. It was tight for life. But a guy who we hadn't seen very much, Bubba Hampton. Bubba Hampton has decided to dip. So I guess he's taking a red shirt and he's going to ride on out. You know, Bubba came in as a 4-star of the class of 2024. He was ranked 227th nationally, the number 9 athlete in his cycle. He was red shirt last season. And I guess he saw he wasn't going to get too much play. He did get a catch against Mercer. He played also a little bit against Wisconsin and Washington, Western Michigan. Wisconsin, Western Michigan. Kind of confusing. I'm like the same thing. Dig, burn. His departure wasn't announced at the time, but there was a public confirmation of the day. So, you know, we still loaded in the wide receiver room. I mean, God bless your son. Go out and get what you need. Take care of mama. You know, we got Ryan Williams coming back. We were trying to find a place for people, but you know, we had people standing up in the wide receiver rooms, but you have made it a little more comfortable. Ryan Williams coming back. You saw Lacia Brooks. I've been talking about him for a year now. And Jerry Bernard, the number 1 receiver. I'm going to say it again. The number 1 receiver. I'm going to say it again. The number 1 receiver for 2 years straight on this team. You see he's off to a hot start in 2025. I mean, let's just say the coaches over the wide receiver room and the players, and they weren't exactly crying in the playbook when they heard that old boy was dipping, you know. Got to take care of mama. Got to take care of yourself. That's what life is about. You know, Ty ended up a starter. He's been up for 4 years. But Bubba said he got to go. He said, I'm out. I'm supposed to be playing. Okay. I'm right there. Did y'all see the Justice Haynes video? He got hit, Michigan. But they hit that boy. So he got hit so hard. It was supposed to be like a screen. He was in a slot position. They threw the ball to him. But the receiver was supposed to come over and block. Let's just say they didn't hustle over there, and the boy got tattooed. Yes, and you don't know how he was impacted by the hit, and I wasn't glad to see them. Just telling the truth. When the man got hit, I mean, he got hit. He paused before he got up. So I mean, I know he felt it. When 2 teammates reached down, say, "Hey man, my bad, man. Come on, man." He was like, "No, get away from me." That's what I do. He was not happy. He did one little. He got himself up and he was talking to him as he was leaving the field. He was not happy. Oh, man, things going better than that for you, Mr. Haynes. Wisconsin is coming to town. Barry Alvarez, I didn't know he was still, you know. Barry Alvarez was saying, you know, he wrote a little piece or he did a little interview about the Crimson Tide. And Alvarez, you know, he's the architect of what Wisconsin modern football is. It's a tough identity. They changed a little bit, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Barry, this is not necessarily bulletin board material, but you may want to sit it on right there on the bench. You know what I'm saying? You may want to sit it on the bench so people can put it on the little benches and the seats they got around the locker room. You probably want to put it there. It may be something you stuff in all the toilets. You know, you may want to tape it. Oh, you don't put it on a bulletin board. You may want to tape it to the back of the urinals because he had some interesting takes about Tuscaloosa and the Crimson Tide. He said he thinks this game could be a setup. And, we stumbled out of the gate. Everybody saw that. And then we rebounded. But in Tuscaloosa, it's the first time Wisconsin's coming to town, so it could be a trap game. Lord knows. We've seen our people fall into a couple of traps over the last couple of years. Not even talking about just the ball, but it's been traps. All right? His logic is this simple. Wisconsin's early season form has been sharp, efficient, and balanced in his opinion, as they played nobody. But Alabama looked mortal. You would agree? 50-50. But if the Badgers play clean, they play physical football, and the Tide keeps showing cracks in the armor, Vegas has tilted this thing way towards the Crimson Tide, but they think they got a shot. They got a real shot. I gotta say, hey, me and can get our friends. We got a shot until they carried us to the hospital. But they got a better shot than we do. The odd makers have Alabama a solid favorite because of history, recruiting, and play, and all that stuff. But Alvarez's point is less like about the current line, and it's more about momentum. See, he thinks that the perception has shifted that has Wisconsin thinking that they are not only winning, but they won these games convincingly. Now, when I looked it up, I said, who did they beat? More on that later. They beat nobody. I don't think they beat anybody in the Big Ten yet. I do know Miami, Ohio, it was a close contest. Anyway, this is kind of spicy. Alabama hasn't been an underdog at home in a long time, and they're not starting this weekend. So suggesting that Wisconsin could be favored is like suggesting that there's going to be a snowstorm this weekend in Miami. It's not impossible, but you will be looking at your doggone weatherman like, come on, bro. Come on, ma. You got to be tripping. So he's trying to support the team. I think he's still the AD up there. Maybe he retired because he is kind of old. But, he's supporting Luke Fickell and what he's got going on up there. And I already told you they should not have a chance. But, hey, it's a matchup thing. I mean, the strength of Wisconsin is discipline, O-line play, where the quarterback doesn't panic, and a defense that they tackle like they're getting paid to do it. They do that. Hey, that gives anybody do that, you're going to execute. But the questions that we have as a team, QB consistency, I think Ty's been pretty consistent, but people wonder, is that going to last as the competition stiffens? Defensive lapses. Oh, my God. If you just saw my short, if you hadn't seen it, go check it out. This gives you 3 minutes of the FSU catastrophe. And it still worries me because, last weekend, we beat the heck out of ULM. And we don't know if the Kalen DeBoer system is totally clicking yet. Is it clicking? Is it clicking? It looked like it was clicking against ULM, but it wasn't clicking worth a damn against FSU. I think you all would agree. So the Badgers smell an opportunity, and Alvarez is just saying the quite part loud, that we about to come down to Tuscaloosa and wreck your world, mess up your football's football Saturdays in the South. They want to jack all that up. They want to, when they cut that screen on there and Camp Randall and them people in there and they doing the jump around and all that stuff. When they want to come down there and rearrange the words to Dixieland Delight, to something that's Badger centric. So I want everybody to go in the game thinking like we just relax because we got to get ready for Georgia. Well, this trip to Georgia is going to take about 17 days, and you got to go through Wisconsin first. Because I don't know what I'm looking at from Georgia. I'll get to that later, much later. I'm just saying, Georgia, man. We're going to see this weekend. Now, for Wisconsin, a program-defining win, it will vault the program into playoff conversation. They'll be 3-0. They would be, in the Big Ten before they even start. They could probably drop 2 Big Ten games. Who they playing? It's going to be Penn State, Ohio State, or Michigan. I wouldn't say Michigan. Penn State, Ohio State. They in the playoffs. But if Alabama lost to a Big Ten visitor, have to lose to an ACC on the road, it would be an earthquake. The kind that has everybody's head blowing off. Feinbaum may show up on ESPN with an afro because he would just. It'll just give him youth. He's a sports vampire. He would just get young and get 20 more years out of his career if Alabama lost this game this weekend. Everybody be using the word dynasty in a past tense. I won't, but I might start in a couple weeks. Anyway, wherever he isn't predicting a blowout. He's not guaranteeing a win or that Wisconsin should be favored. He's just pointing out there's a gap between the Badgers and the Tide. The gap between the Badgers and the Tide may be smaller than Vegas line suggests. If he's right, Wisconsin walks into Bryant-Denny Stadium as a betting favorite, that would be crazy. That ain't going to happen. Somebody get 21 points in 2 days, but that means Ty Simpson, everybody quit. But there are great moments in college football history, which is why I want to see this game, and I'm sure you do too. But if he's very wrong, Alabama fans will be more than happy to remind him and everyone else for the next decade when I think we'll probably play them again, And, to Barry's point, Luke Fickles is switching things up. Just like Kayla said, we got to switch it. We got to turn up the physicality this year. Although he turned it on a whole week late, but he said we got to turn it up. So Luke Fickell, that's Wisconsin's coach who's at Cincinnati. His name is Fickell, but he's not Fickell, but his name is Luke Fickell. He's switching things up, according to Badger Insider with SB Nation, to try to prepare for the Tide, especially. And if he makes these changes, it's probably going to make him stronger for the rest of the year. Last year, when Wisconsin greeted the Alabama Chris Tide at Camp Randall, they got steamrolled 42-10. The Badgers lost a starting quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke. I hope that young man is doing well, but he got a torn ACL in that game, and they couldn't stop Tide anyway. They couldn't stop Tide. They couldn't stop us on offense. They couldn't stop us on defense. They couldn't stop this team. The guy, State Troop, Wisconsin, was trying to tell the Tide best driver stop. He wouldn't stop. He almost got hit. They couldn't stop the plane from taking off. They couldn't stop nothing. They couldn't stop a doggone thing. They went there and told the Crimson Tide after this game, turn these showers off. They left them running. They couldn't stop nothing. But this year, head coach Luke Fickell is determined not to let history repeat itself, or at least not without a fight. Ooh. Them Badgers coming to Brawl, baby. They got a mentality makeover. This ain't nothing about X's and O's. They talking about their mindset. They say the team is mentally different this year, with more belief in what they can do and what they must do. Now Luke Fickell did take Cincinnati to the Final Four, where they got smoked. But that is an achievement of itself. Now, he should have better players, and they should have a better mindset. But there's one lingering concern, the depth on their offensive line. Translation, they starters are solid, just like ours, but the backups are a break glass in case of emergency situation. We're 2 players better than that. Yeah, we got some people mixing in, and we got some people that's playing maybe 2 or 3 players better than that. But the line ain't your problem. He's taking his defensive line from being reactive, like we played against FSU, reactive, to aggressive. Their defensive coordinator is Mike Trussell. I think that's Coach Trussell from Ohio State's boy. And they've rewired the defensive line job description. They want to be an attack first group, ask questions later. That's fine, because we shouldn't be doing too much left and right. We should be coming straight at these guys with our run game and just beat them with our athleticism when it comes to the passing game. The goal for them over at Wisconsin, the Badgers, they want to be both a disruptive defense on the run and the pass, because sitting back against Alabama is just basically invitation to get steamrolled again because we're going to put them things on. So another thing they're going to try to do is they want to get back to that old Barry Alvarez ground game. If I'm not mistaken, Ron Dane, I think the guy that played with they got at least 2 Heisman Trophy running backs out of Wisconsin under Barry Alvarez, if I'm not mistaken. They want to go back to that. They want to go leaning back to their run-heavy roots. The idea is to increase the physicality, control the clock, and keep the offense off the field. You know, same thing we should have done against FSU. That. Told you it's a winning formula. Not because I coach, because I watch a lot of football. It's a shift from the more pass-oriented approach that he used that for the last 2 years up there, which he didn't get him much. And definitely it worked for him up there at Cincinnati. Got him to the Final Four playoffs, got their quarterback taken as a top draft pick. I don't know where he is. He was in Atlanta. I don't know where he is now. But they're dusting off that old Badger playbook. They're sharpening their claws. They want to come on down here and do us. Now, another thing they've been getting ready for, which some people may poo-poo, Camp Round is pretty loud. But they know, you know, Alabama is not just hot and humid. Tuscaloosa is loud. The Badgers have been blasting noise. I don't know why they wouldn't have done this before, but it was brought up in this article. And, you know, they learned a lesson because that really messed them up big time when they went to Iowa last year. They wasn't expecting that noise to be the way it was. They had a third down noise plan. It didn't help on first and second down. They said, man, it said they've been working on their cadence changes. They've been doing this stuff with their communication because they said last year when they played in Iowa, their offensive line looked like they was playing charades. Like, meanwhile, the play clock just clicking, taking time out. They didn't know what was going on. The Iowa crowd just had them all befuddled. Yeah. So that Iowa, you know, the Iowa loss last year and the beating that we gave them, it lingered loud with them. The offense sputtered. And, you know, the noise just rattled them, so they're going to try to fix that. They don't want to be caught off guard like that again, but if that's their biggest problem they worried about, they're not ready. Preparations now, make sure that they're ready to play in that environment. So I hope they practicing somewhere where people going to be saying all types of things they're not going to like. It's not going to make you feel good. You know, God bless you, but this is football. The real test will be that, you know, all the noise, drills, and the mentality shift, the scheme tweaks and all that. But it only comes down if they can execute on Saturday. Will our coaches, the fans, will we let them just say, hey, man, hey, let me see your new script. Oh, man, that's excellent. Hey, y'all, is this too loud? Let me turn this up for you so you feel like you get it. Okay, y'all go ahead. Now, if Kane Womack and Ron Grave let them do that, along with Caleb DeBoer, they let them just, you know, have their way, then it's going to be a long Saturday. Personally, when I come on the air, join me right around the end of third quarter. When I come on the air, I want to come in there sipping pina coladas. I want my hat to be to the side. I want to be wearing my tank top T-shirt and just ride this thing all out to the fourth quarter. I don't want to be in a game. Alabama's still Alabama, sort of. So even if we look mortal this year versus FSU, the Badgers can't afford the slow start, missed tackles, or communication breakdowns. Cannot do it. This is as much about proving that you belong on the same field as much as it is about winning. So if they come down with that kind of swagger, that chip on their shoulders, then, you know, they can make it into a rough day. But I would tell you, I doubt it. I'm going to roll with the Tide. We favored by 21. I'm looking for a 4-touchdown victory. More on that in a moment. Now let's look at Tite's games of the week. And these are games that I'm going to be watching because they interest me. It may not interest you, you know, and I'm going to pick them according to the line for entertainment purposes only. Don't you listen to this man when it comes to paying your light bill or your mortgage or your car bill, and if you take your child support money and you go out and you gamble it, then you are just dumb unless you really know what you're doing. Colorado versus Houston. Houston is a 4-point favorite at home. I'm going to roll with that because I think the Cougars' defensive front should overwhelm Colorado's over shaky line. This man talking about starting his third string quarterback. He's about to send Juju back to the SEC if he does that, I think. Because I would tip. If I was my son, I'm like, how much you get paid? Okay. Start making phone calls. Kentucky can give it to you. Georgia might give it to you. Just take that red shirt and sit. I hate to do it. You got to take care of mama. But that's crazy. You brought in a guy who's supposed to be the guy for this year, then me, but now you skipping over me with the guy who's been sitting on, oh, man, Coach Prime, what's going on? I'm going to watch that. Connor Wegsman's efficiency gives Houston a steady scoring edge, and Colorado's run defense is still a liability against physical teams. And I don't know how they recruit, but they still getting them Houston boys in there. It's going to be a long day for Coach Prime. God bless and touch his heart. Kansas State versus Arizona. I got one word for you. Fafita. That's a Noah Fafita, the quarterback. I love that kid. He reminds me of Tua, but he seems tougher. He seems faster. He don't throw as well, but, man, he a gamer. He should have got the heck out of Arizona 2 years ago, but something kept him around. They are 1.5 point favorite. I'm going to watch it just because it's Fafita. That might be on the night. That game might be on the night. Because somebody's playing tonight. But I like me some Fafita. Somebody plays at 7:30 tonight. If you know, throw it in the chat. Fafita, he's off to a blistering start with elite accuracy. I don't know if they, man, oh boy, what's his name? The Munchie Cheese, the guy that plays out there at Arizona. They let him in the lead. You gotta let Fafita in. If he spin this thing, man, I like him, man. I just like him. Home field advantage for Arizona. I know, Wildcat defense, they have yet to allow a touchdown this season as well. So who knows? Arizona State last year, who turned around and got beat by Mississippi State. And could be Arizona this year, who probably don't have an SEC team on their schedule. Well, we'll see. Let's see. Arizona plays tomorrow. Thank you very much, William. Roll Tide to you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you very much. And one day you're going to have to send me the phonetic pronunciation because I like it. I just don't want to mess it up because I was educated also in public school in rural Alabama. So it don't work out the way you want to. Thank you very much. Roll Tide, roll to you, William. Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Now, everybody tell you, I'm not an ACC fan, but I like me some Georgia Tech. I like the coach. I like the old coaches. I like Georgia Tech. I just like Georgia Tech. And what's it? Fujioka. You know what I'm saying? After public school, I did go to Tuskegee. So let's see. So I got man. Everybody got Clemson, but they only favored by 3, and they playing down here in the flats. So I'm like, LSU. I'm going with Georgia Tech, man. I mean, it's a tight game, 3 points. I don't know what's wrong with Clemson. Really don't care. Don't like Dabo that much. But Clemson defensive line should be able to disrupt Georgia Tech's tempo on the offense. But as long as that doggone Haynes King is healthy, they got a shot. And it ain't late enough in the season for them to start limping and all that stuff. And, the only thing I think could really help or hurt Georgia Tech is their secondary. They probably ain't seen a bunch of receivers like Clemson has, but you got to get past the defensive line of Georgia Tech. They coach his offensive line. He requires them to give all they got. And they do that, they got a shot. Especially at home. I need to ride up there and see if I can go in there and yell for them, go crazy. And then the next game, I know everybody wants this game. The powerful team at South Alabama. South Alabama is going to be traveling up to see them stinking Tigers over there in Auburn. Yeah, we don't like them stinking Tigers. We want to see them lose. Oh, my God. They lost South Alabama. It'd be so embarrassing. Then South Alabama be the number 2 team in the state of Alabama. But that ain't probably going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Auburn is favored by 24.5. Playing at home. Field is cursed. They some cheaters. They low down. No, I take the last two back. But you know that place is cursed. So I'm still going to have to go with South Alabama. I'm taking the points. I'm taking the 24.5, and I'm saying that South Alabama is going to hold Auburn in place till about the third quarter. They're going to make them struggle to blow them out by 21, but not 24 in the fourth quarter. They're going to throw toilet tissue all over the place. It's pollution, people. I mean, I don't know why the EPA hasn't released some. Oh, that's right, they closed. Anyway, don't be a little bug, okay? Just don't do it. They clean it all up after the game, but they waste a lot of toilet paper that people could be using. But, when people tell you this is what you do with toilet tissue instead of what we do with toilet tissue, that's what you do. You throw it in trees. You ever smelt that, Lee County? Anyway, Jackson Arnold is completing over 75% of his passes, whatever. They're going to have speed on the edges. They're going to torch the they're just going to overwhelm them, but I think these guys going to fight. Because they prove they want to draw a line around Mobile Bay and Pensacola, and they want to make that, what are they, the Cougars? They want to make that Cougars territory. Good luck with that. It's going to be a cat fight. I mean, the Cougars and Tigers, it's a cat fight. Say it ain't. It's a cat fight, right? Oh, who is it? Clips by Zay. OU. Is that Oberlin University? Oh, my bad. Oklahoma University. Man, wrong time to you. Come on in. Yeah, we hate your guts. Anyway, I was thinking about coming to Tuscaloosa for a game with y'all. Yeah, come on down. Come on down, man. Make sure you wear all the Ohio, Oklahoma stuff, man. You will be greeted with open arms and love and respect. And just come on down, man. It's just, it's just like an Oklahoma football. It's just a game in Alabama. So come on down, have a good time. Go on down there to Dreamlands, get you some barbecue. And then I want you to find a place around the corner down there at the end of the street. Go to the far end of the bars. Just go all the way down there after the game. And them people will love you. You won't see me over there. But I want you to go over there and have a wonderful time. So, moving on to my next game, we talked enough about the Plain people over there in East Alabama, which is better known as more like West Georgia. We don't claim it. USF and Miami. Miami is favored by 17.5. They're not going to cover that. That guy at USF, that coach that came from Tennessee or wherever it was, yeah, he the real deal. Yeah. He very arrogant. He walking that walk though. He kind of cocky. He kind of like Lane Kiffin without a smile. And them guys playing hard. Great athletes in Tampa Bay area. Carson Beck does have arm strength. It's a mismatch for USF maybe if they don't destroy him in the backfield, because the guys they got in their front seven, they do get to the quarterback. They hit hard, and Miami got to have the ball. I know already this guy, I can't think of his name, but the USF coach, they're going to try to control the ball game. So the Hurricane defense, they have to generate pressure, respect their passing lanes, and create pressure. If not, old boy going to run for 250. He don't get tired either. He going to run for 2. While everybody was giggling and laughing at Alabama for 2 years, that young boy has become a man. And he playing like a man. They gonna get their respect. I mean, the offense does struggle. Miami should have more speed, but them guys play high school, but it's a personal thing. So 17.5, nah. I think if I was to fly out to Vegas tonight, yep, I'm taking the points. 17.5, nah. Next game up, oh man, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Golly, man, that's can Elko do it? Can he keep the respect on the SEC's name against Notre Dame? Is Notre Dame powerful still? I'm going to Texas A&M. Yeah. Next, I think Notre Dame probably win the game. I think it's going to be tight because Notre Dame ain't doing no knockout blows these days. But they got the trenches pretty tight. But Texas A&M, I don't understand. They've been drinking milk, you see. And Milk does about it good. They got some boys in the trenches too. CJ Carr, he got a quick release, but is he gonna have time? Does he need 3.25 seconds, or does he need 4.1 seconds? Because he won't get to 4.1. He'll get 3.25. Texas A&M got some players on their defense too, but they playing in that cauldron known as the Notre Dame field where the grass be like they let it grow out for about 15 feet, then they roll it down. Where it feel like you're running on a doggone about to cuss. If you feel like you're running on a mattress, yeah, twisting ankles and all that stuff. I don't know. Did they ever take the grass out of that place? Probably not. Because they low down, they dirty, and they cheap. I was just playing. But Notre Dame secondary should be able to match up pretty well with them. I'm taking Texas A&M on the road. I'm just gonna roll with Texas A&M. Florida LSU. I'm taking LSU. Yeah, they done embarrassed themselves enough in the past. Kelly may be making his push to get a 10-win season and get on into the doggone playoff. However, he ain't gonna make it. But I'm gonna take him against Florida. Florida is all over the place. Tigers got players all over the place. They're getting tougher. The front seven for the Tigers should be able to bottle up whatever Florida's trying to do because it's goofy. If they couldn't be USF, I think LSU definitely could get a 10-point victory at home as they are favored by 7.5. That's how I feel about it now. You know they got receivers and DBs. And like I said, you're struggling against USF. I don't see you beating LSU right now. Vanderbilt and South Kakalaki. This one may blow your mind. I had to go look back and see what they did last couple games. South Carolina ain't playing, y'all. Lenore Sellers is more dynamic than Diego Pavia, but does he have to be more dynamic to win the game? Gamecocks got a defensive line. But that defensive line wasn't looking at no SEC teams. And I'm thinking, is Virginia Tech Vanderbilt? Academically, yes. Football-wise, no. No, hell no. Plus, unless I'm mistaken, South Carolina's won 16 straight in this series. As we found out last year with our Crimson Tide, any given Saturday, you can win or you can get embarrassed. And I think Vanderbilt going to do that thing. It's a 4-point game. That's almost a pick 'em in the SEC. I'm going with Vanderbilt. They're going to have to fight. They're going to fight within an inch of their little game-cocky breaths, lives to win that game. They're going to fight for this. Diego, man, you know I told you, man. I don't playing with Diego. His brothers was them twins from Breaking Bad. I'm not doing it. I'm just saying, Diego, if you don't knock him out, he can hurt you. He can hurt you. I'm just saying. And Vanderbilt don't look that bad right now. Ole Miss is welcoming Arkansas to town. Yeah. Ole Miss is favored by 7 points in the Grove. Wonderful, beautiful place. Beautiful people in the Grove. A lot of good food. A lot of good hot-tate. But who do I have in this game? Lane Kiffin's offense thrives with explosive plays. But so do Kentucky's. Is there a change going on in Kentucky? It's like they had some horses on that field in Kentucky. Get it? Horses because of the Kentucky Derby. I'm taking Arkansas. I'm taking Arkansas and the 7 points. Bottom line, that's what I'm doing. Arkansas may have a vulnerable secondary, but I don't even know if it's going to matter. I don't think if they hit the quarterback knew. He don't know what it feels like. Dude is a very brilliant guy. He's, I think, a 19-year-old sophomore who already graduated from high school. Hey, kids, we got to talk after this show. It's a different season. It's a different aura going on in the SEC right now, right? I'm gonna take them. I'm taking the points. Give me Arkansas. Everything's weird. All the national media who told us that Alabama was great, well, they're now saying that the SEC is wide open, of which I tend to agree. Tennessee is looking too good for me right now. Too good. And of course, no one game I want to see is Wisconsin, Arkansas. Wisconsin, Alabama. Alabama's favored by 21. And you know, because by Zay, he said that Jackson Arnold, who was your quarterback last year, is poo-poo. Come on now. He beat Alabama 24-3. Much respect to Miss Arnold. Alabama has a power rating right now of 4. I'm confused too. While Wisconsin's power rating by ESPN is 40th. It's 10 times more based on my math. Let's see. Wisconsin had a big battle with Miami of Ohio where they dominated 17-0. They pitched a shutout against grown people. That's very important. And they kicked Middle Tennessee State to sleep 42-10. Well, what we know is we're not either one of those schools combined. Even if you took their last 10 years to combine, that's 20 teams, 20 rosters, you took the best players off of those teams, they still would not amount to this year's rendition of the Crimson Tide. Now, I already said, last week was a scrimmage game. Florida State was up here, I think, somewhere. And then, ULM was right here. So it was a glorified scrimmage. It's almost like if Central Tuscaloosa High School came over there to help the boys out. Score probably would have been not 73-0, maybe like 83-0. So this is should be like a scrimmage, but at a higher level. Not uphill, where I think Florida State is. I don't know. Were we fluking? Were they fluking? Were they hyped? Were they taking something? I don't know. But they look like they're up here right now. ULM was down here. Wisconsin should come right in here, which is why I say we should win by 28 points. Yeah, we need the reps to make sure that we're going. We need to be in fourth gear, whole game. And, Wisconsin's offense is about as threatening as a lukewarm cup of coffee. Somebody throw it in your face, you're like, oh, you're messing up my cologne. Alabama's defense should be able to smother them, even if the Tide front seven look like that revolving door defense we ran against Florida State. We still should be able to dominate these folks. Ty Simpson should be able to throw left-handed and still find receivers open against these people. They do have a guy in the secondary that's of concern, but I ain't worried. You still got to cover one of these guys. And that says a lot more about Wisconsin than it does against, Ty Simpson. They just not ready for this. The Badgers' physical O-line will find out quickly that the Big Ten muscle melts in SEC heat. Why do you think when's Ohio State coming down? Come on down, Tuscaloosa. Come on down here. Let me know we playing in doggone September. I'll go there and make sure they're ready. Sick of y'all. On the other side of the coin, let's be clear. The Badgers coming down here to win the game. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first trip they've ever made to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Welcome. Come on, your ice bags are over here in the corner. If you need some Band-Aids, you need to run down to the Walmart. Because, Band-Aids cost money. They got this Danny O'Neal. Billy Ellis Jr. got hurt. Their starting quarterback got hurt, folks. And the sophomore who got in the game. Now, he rewrote their first start record book against Middle Tennessee State University. 23 of 27, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. He got a pick that I'm hoping that he repeats early and often during the game on Saturday. He has the highest completion percentage ever for a person making their first start in a University of Wisconsin Badgers uniform. 85.2%. That's a lot. Is this going to be a Hugh Freeze and Ole Miss situation for Alabama? You never know. I didn't know then. I don't know now. I know we better be on point. SEC road trips for these teams are like unicorns. They'll never come down here. The only time they ever took a SEC trip was like in 75 and against Missouri when they was in. And then in 84, they went to Oklahoma in 1970 when they went to SEC. jumped out. It's just crazy. First time ever in Tuscaloosa. So yeah, it's a big deal for them. And no, we're not gonna be passing out them stupid cheese hats when they get here. Gonna be passing out butt whoopings. I want to say something else. We gotta watch their tight end. And I told you guys, don't nobody in college seem to cover the tight end very well. They got a tight end, Lance Mason, who's coming in hot because he dominated in the first 2 weeks of the season against Middle Tennessee State and Miami of Ohio. He's a transfer from Missouri State. Now, he coming up getting the big money, playing big-time ball. You don't want to sleep on a graduate transfer. It might be their best weapon they got. So please, defense. Who is that going to be? Not the Bandit. Is that the Huskies job? Or the Star or the Steam? I don't know which one of them players that Kane Womack got. Please check this guy. And Brian Denny is a fortress for him, so they know they're coming in. We have a 84.4% winning percentage since 1929 in that stadium. It's the best number out there, by the way. So we won a lot of home games against unranked opponents, but we need just a different year because we watched that game. Last time we lost to a team there, ULM, back in the day with the GOAT. They were the last team to win in the stadium unranked. That's crazy. So yeah. It's not really losing, not a really big popular thing in that stadium. So we're gonna see some fireworks. Last week, Wisconsin pulled out something they hadn't done in a decade. They had a 50-yard touchdown run and a 50-yard pass in the same game. Hey man, that's right direction. Plus they had their first 99-yard drive since, wait a minute, did I do my notes right? Their first 99-yard drive, touchdown drive, since 2003. Wow. Man, it's like the offense found a time machine and decided to use it. Anyway, this isn't just a non-conference games. It's a collision of styles, histories, and expectations. Wisconsin is methodical, that Big Ten brand of football, where the Alabama's SEC speed and hopefully unconquerable will and swagger will prove to be too much for the Badgers. They got a young QB with record-breaking debut, and we are a program that typically eats young QBs for breakfast. And Castellanos is not necessarily young. I just want to throw that in there. So they play jump around, and all we do is play that what's that, DJ Khaled, that win. But if we don't win this game by 3 or 4 touchdowns, it's less about being good, Wisconsin being good. It'll be more about the Tide still trying to remember what the word dynasty means. Or the word, more importantly, before you get to dynasty, standard. Dynasty is over. Got to get back to a standard. Got to take it to the next level after that. If Wisconsin pulls this off, it'll be kind of thing they'll be talking about in Madison for decades. Right up there when they say, you remember we beat Miami in the Orange Bowl? I don't, but I know they do. But if not, well, then at least we'll send them home with a little nice scrapbook. We'll send them over to when my daughter be using that thing. I can't think of it. She put scrapbooks together about everything she do. That's what we're gonna get them scrapbook coupons and get them up out of Tuscaloosa. Either way, Saturday's game is less about whether the Badgers can match Alabama's history. It's more about whether they can make some of their own, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing this renewed rendition of the Crimson Tide against the Badgers. What we do know is if there's a struggle, or if the Crimson Tide does not dominate, oh my God, I mean dominate completely, there will be unbelievable rumblings of which the Crimson Tide Nation, most of you have never seen, that I haven't seen, and many of us, like it's me, haven't seen since 2002, when the 24th head coach scurried away in the night from the capstone after resigning at 3:20 on that Thursday, with a phone call to then athletic director Mal Moore. May he rest in peace. Coach Fran was named Texas A&M head coach a few days later. Players were devastated, fans were shocked, but hey, 5 years later, in walked the GOAT. Terrible day. Why did you say won't catch me over there when telling me, oh yeah, come on down there. I just said I got somewhere else to be. Yeah. I got somewhere else to be. That's why I won't probably be down there. Because I'll probably be, you come down there, but the end, not the upper end, the lower end. Yeah, so nice folks. But that's all I got. Don't forget to smack the subscribe button and flick that notification so you'll know when I go live or when I drop a vid. Share these links, share them all, and help to build the Crimson Tide Nation into a fun-loving audience. That's what we have here. We have fun. Yeah, I'm playing. Oh, don't you go down there? Hey, Zay, be careful. Oh, you go down with your crew? No. Forgot, you went OU stuff. Don't go down there, especially if we lose. Don't go down there. Tell your friends they can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Tight Sports Talk on the Badlands X, which I tell y'all is just too much for my mental. I go out there for 3 days and I gotta take 3 months off, or at least 3 weeks. Shout out to B Sharp and Sharpshooters Podcast, Kangaroo Black, Bama Moore, The Long Run with Piano Man and Rags and Fitness. Roll Tide to all of you, and thank you all for making Alabama great always. Shout out to William Fujioka. I'm gonna get it. Fujioka. It's me for chiming in. Welcome to our guest, Clips by Zay. Don't go down there, boy. Oh, don't go down there at all. Unless you know somebody, I don't know. Don't go down there. And along with Clips by Jay, peace to the brothers at Auburn Addicts, Water Cooler Podcast, Bubba the Old Man. It's SEC season with my man Tez. Dustin at the Up Tempo Podcast. That's my boy right there. Who else we got? Vandy Chris, who at the Golden Broom, who will be kicking that Gamecock right in the balls like a little bit of feathers. And the Huggy Beard himself. Shout out to all of them. They are a fine group of Crimson Tide hating and doubting Americans. And with that, folks, Fujioka. Yeah, I'm gonna practice in the shower now. Man. With that, folks, we will see you next Tuesday in victory right here around the herd. But join me Saturday. Look out for my videos. I got stuff dropping a couple. But join me here live right at the end of the third quarter if you still can sit up straight. Or if the game still is not of interest to you because we got that 37-point lead. Chime in with me. I'll be here every game, I think. Maybe not them non-conference things, but the SEC games, I definitely would make it my business to be right here by the end of that third quarter so we can talk it over. We can cheer about it. Hopefully we won't have to cry about it, complain about it, or, have property crimes surrounding it, that kind of stuff. Join me right here. And, of course, catch me next Thursday. Still fighting this JV schedule, somewhere between 4 and 6. That's why I came in at 5:30 today. But thank you for joining me. Thank you to all of you. God bless. Once again, remember today is, 24th? Remembrance of the 9/11 attack on America. Caught us slipping. Never again. But until next time, not the next 9/11, but until the next show, always remember, roll, tide, roll.